Morning folks, we're another week on, Tuesday again. It's a week ahead from Tuesday it was, 12th I think it is, 12th of May. Yes. And we're just coming into Colville, got a trailer to come and pick up. And then we're down to Northamptonshire, go and swap trailers or live load, whichever way they want to do it, at Thrapston, go packaging, and then we're off to Spalding and Norwich. So quite a long day ahead of us, and the dreaded A14 again. But not to worry, let's get going, and we shall see you in a little bit. We're about 5 minutes from picking up the trailer. Slightly different audio setup this week, so let's see how we fare. I'll talk to you about it in a bit. Hopefully it'll be a bit better than the last couple of weeks. Work in progress, that's what it is. Right, catch up with you in a bit. Yeah. Alright then, so off to Thrapston we go. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Started at 5, or just after. The time we've gone round, picked the trailer up and got going. We're just about on 6 o'clock. It's just over an hour to Thrapston, straight down the M1. Onto the A14, and then it's just off the A14. It's a nice and easy journey, and as I said, we're off to Spalding in Lincolnshire. I think we went to Spalding once before. I seem to remember talking about, we used to go there as kids. We used to have a big flower festival, tulip festival. Used to have big floats where they used to make up all kinds of scenes. And there was like a big garden centre with big gardens, if that makes sense. Used to be good, that. Very, very young. And my nan, my dad's mum, gave me my first watch on one of my birthdays. Wouldn't have been that old, probably 6, 7 maybe. It was also the flower show, because it was a big family event, we all used to go. It was also the first time she gave me a camera, and I've still got that camera, an old 110 film camera, if you remember them, all them years ago. Still got that camera and a film. I don't suppose it would be any good, but there we go. So the difference in audio, hopefully we can tell a difference. Back to wearing a microphone on me. I've run an extension, can't get my teeth in, run an extension cable up and over and round behind the seat so I can plug myself in. I just need to remember not to jump out the truck before I've unplugged my microphone, otherwise I'll be dangling. Anyway, it's a lovely morning. Parked up on Friday. Normally on a Friday we'll fuel, wash and park the trucks up. That was right at the end. I'd done a 15-hour day and approaching 10 hours of driving. And the office said, yeah, just park it up, we'll get it washed for you over the weekend. And frustratingly, they didn't wash it. They used it, it got sent back out with a driver on the Saturday. Which in these times, I don't know if I'm alright with that or not, but there's not much you can do about it. I know the job that I did on Friday, I a load of stuff up. Can't remember what it is now, or what it was. Picked a load of stuff up. Couldn't get it delivered because it was going further north. Just didn't have the hours to do it. And all the paperwork was in this registration number. I think basically the truck just had to follow through and complete the job. So that was only an hour up the road. But you kind of think with the virus, and you know you've got your own little safe haven here. And I always wipe stuff down with anti-bac wipes. There's just that little element, isn't there, of somebody else coming into your little safe haven. It's a bit like the whole stay-at-home thing, stay alert, whatever it is these days. And my understanding of it is your home should be a safe haven. It should be a safe place, and you should be safe within your home. And let's face it, these trucks are our home through the week, and we keep ourselves safe, we keep the trucks safe. So by putting a complete stranger in your truck at the weekend, I don't know. Put it this way, I had a damn good anti-bac wipe down again yesterday morning. But there we go. There's not a lot we can do about it. Grimsby Fish is a long way from home. This van just joining us on the M1. Anyway, I hope you're all keeping okay. Thanks very much for the new followers. Seem to have a little bit of a flurry this week of followers or subscribers, whichever way you want to call it. Don't forget we're also on YouTube and Facebook. I've also got a Twitter account, so do feel free to follow me there too. Going to do some shout outs in a bit once we get through the day a little bit. Because we still are seeing a lot of the same faces week after week, which is really lovely. And it's always really nice when we get some new comments too. So do feel free to comment on the videos, good or bad, whichever way you want. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed, you could do that right now on the subscribe button at the bottom of the page. And also at the other end of the video, for those of you that make it that far, there's also a pop-up what's it, where you can subscribe too. We nearly hit the 500 mark this week. I was just a few off, 4 or 5 I think. I'd never thought I'd ever get to 100 subscribers, to be fair. So to reach 500, really lovely. And to begin with, I started doing these videos just to show my son what I do at work, because he would love to become a truck driver, so it kind of gives him a bit of an insight into what it's like on the road. So once again, the weekly shout out to me boys, Matthew, Jackson, and of course Christopher, young Chris. So hello guys. And Matthew, my eldest son, he turns 18 this Friday the 15th. 18, God, I feel old all of a sudden. His sister, my daughter, she turns 21 this year, so we've got a double whammy. Her birthday's in July. And I don't suppose for 1 minute she actually watches these videos. But if you do, hello. Hello, Tash. Right, well, we'll get on with the day. We've rambled on long enough again. We'll get this camera turned round so you can see what's going on. We've got the action cam up on the back wall, so let me know what you think to that. We'll try and get it out and about with us on the old mag mount at some point. I knew I said I wasn't going to do it. I knew I said we've only got the camera in the front, but you know, you just can't help yourself, can you? But I want to concentrate on the next couple of weeks of getting the audio a little bit better. I don't want to get too involved. I don't want to go too deep into the videos, because I know once everything's been lifted, I'm going to be back on with doing my karaokes and discos and stuff. So not that I'm just going to drop you. I won't drop you just like a stone, but I know my focus will gradually drift back over to that stuff again. We've invested just too much just to let that get packed up and left in the cupboards. So we'll try and make the videos as interesting as we can, and we'll try and keep them going. And then we'll have a rethink once everything's been lifted and we're all back to semi-normal. And we'll see where we go from there. So we've had another little twerk of the Scandinavianz mount. For those of you that have just joined the video, the Scandinavianz mount, I follow Stevie bloke and his good wife, good lady wife, Ange. I follow their vlogs, and I love the way that Steve records his videos. One camera, and he's got a mount on his windscreen that he could just kind of rotate round so you can see out the window. And I got in touch with him, and it was a really simple idea, and I've kind of taken that idea from him.
I'm listening.
Don't bother listening. I didn't ask you to listen. And I've kind of just developed on that. Now Steve, his truck, his windscreen's completely different to mine. What I can't do, because my windscreen's got a big curve on it, it doesn't quite work the same way that his does. So last week I added a ball joint, but it was a bit big and cumbersome. So it wasn't that big and cumbersome. It's up on the back at the minute, if you can see it, in a better angle than what it was before. And hopefully it's not bouncing around too much. But I've actually bought the GoPro ball joint, so we'll see how we go with that. It's a bit stiffer than that one. I'm trying to turn the camera. Might be a bit jerky. We'll give it a go in a minute. But it's just a case of getting used to it, I think, and hopefully it might just free off a little bit with a bit of use. You can't free off too much, because otherwise it won't stay in position. But we'll have a go at rotating it round. Of course, the trouble with these GoPros is the touch screen. So you've got to be careful not to touch the back of the screen too. How's that? That's all right, isn't it? Yeah. Right, well, we'll do a bit of a time lapse then to get us to Thrapston, and we'll see you when we get there. massive bright sunshine as we're coming into Thrapston, just about a mile away from the junction. It's worth noting, I know I've had a few comments about the audio on the videos, but you've got to remember I do everything from the truck, all the editing, everything gets done in the truck whilst I'm away. My time at the weekends, because I'm away Monday to Friday, I don't want to be sat editing videos, and I know there's a lot you can do with these software programs, but I want to be spending my time at the weekend with Tanya and the boys, so it's as good as it can be. I can tweak things in the cab, like changing my microphone where I've got it. My laptop isn't the quickest and it does take a couple of evenings to edit these videos, so not that I'm trying to make excuses or anything, but it pretty much is what it is, and we'll see how well the sound changes, or how much the sound changes just with moving the microphone. I think what it was in the Volvo was much quieter than this on the road. Everything about the Volvo was quieter than this Mercedes. There's more noise inside this cab than what there was in the Volvo. I know I had a few teething problems with the sound in the Volvo to begin with, but we kind of got that as good as it could be. So bear with me, we'll keep tweaking bits and seeing if we can improve. But I do use good equipment. It's not like I skimp on cost with this stuff. It's just a matter of where you place things, I think, half the time. Somebody mentioned to record the audio separately, but again, it's just time in stitching everything together. And we have long old days out here, so to start editing a video at 7 in the evening, and you sat there till 10, 11 o'clock, kind of takes its toll. So you need it quick and easy and acceptable. I think it depends how you listen to the videos as well, because when I play it back through the truck, it's absolutely fine, because there's absolutely no bass. So there we go then, we're all loaded up and good to go. So we're off to Spalding, which is our first one, about an hour and a half away. We managed to get a 15-minute break in at Thrapston. Time now is 10 to 8. The booking time's 9:30. Wow, that's a big bounce. At the minute we should be there with time to spare. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Let's get round this roundabout. We've had to swap a trailer. And it was just about loaded when we came in. So it was just a swap and drop, or a drop and swap, whichever way around you want to say it. Oh, it's so nice having some lovely weather, isn't it? And for those of you staying at home, Oh, you're all going to be well suntanned, aren't you? I saw a picture doing the rounds on Facebook about spot the key worker on a holiday camp. And bottle white. I'm like that anyway. Always cover up. It's not often I get me legs out. Get my arms out normally. But, last year was the first year I wore shorts through the summer. And I really enjoyed it actually. I might just do that again this year, now the weather's picking up. You never know, I might just get my hairy legs out. One thing you notice when you're travelling all over the country is just the difference of landscapes. And in the Midlands we have some lovely trees. There's just something different about the landscape. The south coast is really nice as well, and Kent. There's some amazing places in Kent. As a coach driver, I used to do like garden tours. Hever Castle was one of my favourites. Scotney, that's another nice one. Leeds Castle down that way somewhere. And you come up into the Midlands and the trees, I think they're just stunning. And then as you move further north, probably due to the fact the weather is a bit colder, a bit more harsh, you tend to find the landscapes a bit more harder, if that makes sense. I mean, when you look here, the trees they're all smooth. They look smooth and fluffy. Yeah, when you get up into Scotland and even the Lake District, with some spectacular scenery, absolutely stunning scenery up there, but you just find it's not quite as fluffy as what it is in the Midlands or down south. The things you get to see as you're travelling around the countryside. It's normally a bit of a whistle-stop tour round, to be fair. I mean, the amount of places that I've visited over the years. It's just phenomenal. But yet I can't actually say that I've stopped and explored many places. I've certainly had plenty of cups of tea and cake, and I would say the Isle of Wight has been the most explored place, I would think. I mean, I lived in the Lake District, so I know that place like the back of my hand. Used to do a lot of trips up into Scotland. And loads and loads and loads down on the south coast. But even places like Bournemouth, I think it was at the tail end of everything that I was doing with the tours and stuff, and I ended up in Bournemouth. And I think I did 3 trips back to back. And the weather was pants the first time I went. And it was a bit of a grumpy trip, that one, because the weather was so bad. And then we went again a couple of weeks later, and the weather had improved a little bit. And it was just one of them, you know, you get your paperwork at the beginning of the week and off you go. Take people out and about. And then we went back, took them all back up to the Lake District because I was based in Penrith. Took everybody back. And a couple of weeks later, found myself back in Bournemouth. And somebody came up to me and I didn't have a clue where Bournemouth was. And she said, "Which way's the beach?" And I went, "Beach? What beach?" Didn't even know we were by the seaside because we were kind of inland a little bit. And somebody said, "Oh, it's just down that road, it's like 100 yards down that road." So I went for a bit of a wander that evening and God, what a revelation. Bournemouth has a beach. Who knew? I don't know. But there we go. You live and learn. God, did you see that fly tip in there? I suppose that's the trouble, isn't it, with all this lockdown stuff and local councils not emptying the bins. They've done our grey bin, the household bin. They've kind of kept on top of that one every other week. But the garden bin, oh, they went about 5 or 6 weeks and you couldn't take it to the tip because the tip was closed. And we've got, it's not massive, but we've got quite a sizable back garden. It takes a bit of keeping on top of. When they eventually got around to emptying the green bin, we could get loose with the hedge trimmers and everything again. So it looks like somebody owns it again now. Off the white line, Steve. What I tend to do, Stevie tip for this week, when your bin gets full, your wheelie bin, if you're fitting well enough, get on top of it with your boots on. Give it a good trample down, get another 3 weeks worth in. That's what we've been doing. Surprising how much you can get in a wheelie bin. I remember years and years ago, I was up in the Lake District living, and we had a new fireplace fitted, and the old one had an old back boiler, like a cast iron one, and I phoned the tip up and I said, "Will you take this?" "No, we can't take that." "You can ring up and somebody will collect it, but it'll cost you whatever it was." It was about, I don't know, 70 quid or something.
I'm listening.
Why you keep listening? Stop listening. I thought, no, I'm not having that. So I ended up cutting it up with my angle grinder. Bit naughty this. Putting it out with my ordinary waste. It took me about a year, but piece by piece, week by week, we managed to get rid of it. I'll probably get a letter in the post now. "Dear Steve, a long time ago." I am a bit like that. I don't like authority. I have a real problem with authority. And I don't mean that in a horrible way. I don't get, you know. It's just, I don't know what it is. Don't know. I get on with my work. I do my work. I don't need to be micromanaged. But it's when you get somebody that's a bit full of themselves, a bit uppity, and I think, yeah, you're just a challenge, you. And I like a challenge. This weather's amazing. I might have to take my jumper off. Well, we should have some nice countryside coming out this way. I will do another little bit of a time lapse for all the sheeps in the field, sheeps and lambs. Lovely. Well, we'll do a bit of a time lapse to get us over to Spalding. And I think it's going to be quite nice around where we're dropping off. It looks like it's in the middle of nowhere. Which is the usual for around Spalding. Everything's so flat you can see for miles and miles and miles. Get off the white line, Steve. I don't know how well you can see all these trees and stuff. I do like the landscape round here. Right, we'll catch you in a bit. Well, we're just under a mile away from this place. We're carrying packaging today, like cardboard boxes, delivering to a business on behalf of UK Packaging. Love these little roads, haven't we? Blessing that it's not too far along here. We just can't keep away from these little farm roads. 700 yards or thereabouts. There's, he found a little hidey hole. Yep. Actually, you might have come into this one here. Is a flower place that we're going to, but I don't think that was the one. It's lamb flowers we're looking for. It's a bit further up. Let's just pull in here a second though and just double check, because we don't want to get it wrong. Let's have a quick check up on the old Google Maps. That tree doesn't look very inviting either. Let's have a look. Google Maps. Yeah, just a bit further up on the right. Don't like that tree. We're just going to have to take it nice and easy. It's alright, it's a fluffy tree. So up here on the right, it reckons, there is a place up here, look. These guys are getting 1,000 cardboard boxes when we find them. Next entrance on the right, I reckon. Yeah, it certainly is. There's already a lorry in, so we'll just park up here. Wait our turn. I'll just straighten myself up a little bit. We'll go and see the man or woman in charge. Back shortly. So that's the first drop done. The second one is in Norwich. All we have to do is get back out of this little lane again. Hope you enjoyed the little time lapse there of the unloading. It's quite difficult today. It's a really nice day, but the wind picked up a little bit, and I thought it was going to unload both sides where we were, but he chose to turn me around and do the other side. Let me just see where this little lane's going. Or whether I'm better off going the way that we came. I'll have a go. There is a lorry up there. And there are lorry tread marks on the corner. Here we go again with these little lanes. It looks like he's going the same place I'm going. And nobody's come out shaking their arms. You just got to love these little country lanes. You never quite know. You can look all you like. These are actually wider than some that we see. You just got to be careful because these Mercedes, they're so low at the front that if you start catching grass verges, you start taking out paintwork. So absolutely fine there. Just take your time. Nice and easy does it. I think he's asleep actually, that trucker. It's a nice little lay-by to keep in the bank. So the government have kind of said we can almost start to relax a little bit from tomorrow. Whether that's the right thing or not, I don't know. This field next to me looks like it's all water, doesn't it? But it's not. It's just polythene, or whatever it is, over the top of the crops. Yeah, the wind started to pick up a little bit just as I was unloading, get my teeth in, and it made it a bit tricky to get that curtain closed with the wind blowing through, but we managed. All I do if I struggle to get the curtains closed in the wind, I mean ideally you just open up one side at a time, but I thought it was going to unload both sides together. And even then, if there'd have been just a little bit more wind than what there was, I still would have just done one side at a time. But anyway, too late now. All you do, put one end in and then use the clips down the side just to bring the curtain back in again. Don't tighten them up, just use the clips and hook them underneath the chassis of the trailer. That stops the curtain from bowing out so much, and then you can get your front pole in then. Off the white line, Steve. So we're off to Norwich now, and it's a good run. It's about 2 hours. So I'm not going to get there without having a break. So I'm going to have to pull over somewhere for half an hour. We had 15 at Thrapston. It was 2.5 hours to this first drop. It's 2 hours to the next one. So unless I pick up 10 or 15 minutes on the way, I'm going to have to stop. I don't like going into places with only 10 minutes driving time anyway, because you never can guarantee you're going to park up, and you don't know how long it's going to take to get unloaded. I know this next place we're going to, I've been in before. You go in, you park on the road, and last time I went in, you went a bit further down and turned left, and then you do a U-E in their car park. It's like a drinks company. You might remember it when we go in. And again, it's in the middle of nowhere. I was nowhere near the white line. Close enough for it to pick up, obviously. So at the minute we're at Spalding, which, if you think of the bulge of Norfolk, we're quite a bit inland, like near the top but down a bit. And now we're going over to Norwich, which is way over the other side. still haven't taken my jumper off, have I? It was actually, it's hot behind the steering wheel, but it's not as hot when you get out. It's only about 10 degrees. So it's warm enough, but it's definitely warmer in the cab behind the glass than what it is outside. So we'll catch up again when we get over there, and then find out what's happening from there. No idea whether there'll be a collection somewhere or whether they'll just send me back. I don't know. But one way or the other, we'll catch up with you when we get to Norwich, unless something decent happens along the way. Right, see you in a bit. Oh, there we go. I decided to take half an hour purely because it's not worth taking the risk. I'm only going to be about half an hour late. We'll be in at 12:30. So that's not too bad. We're about half an hour away. It's just gone 12 o'clock now. We're being parked up there gave me a good chance to give my mum and dad a ring, see how they're getting on. Everything is good in their little world right now. They live up in the Lake District, middle of nowhere. They have no view apart from somebody's house opposite. Bless them. And they've been really good. They've stayed in, apart from doing the shopping once a week. Doing good up there, so good news, good news. But we've definitely been lucky with the weather today. It has cooled down a little bit. The sun isn't quite as in your face, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It was about 20 degrees before, but it's dropped down a little bit now, 13. Which in turn means it's not as hot behind the windscreen. Pensthorpe. There's some really lovely colours out here today. With a bit of luck, we've seen the back of winter now. I don't want to tempt fate, but I think we had it quite lucky. No snow again. Oh dear, excuse me. Could it snow in May? I don't think I've ever known it snow in May. Never got away with it. But again, it's a massive change from last year with the season. Got yawnitis. I'll stop yawning. Can't help but go over the white line there because of the trees. Right, we shall crack on, because I think we might be riding this white line quite a bit coming up, just with the state of the trees, and that's going to do your head in. It's really doing my head in. So we'll catch you a little bit later, once we get into Norwich, and then we'll see what we've got for the rest of the day. Ta for now. Go. See, that's why it's always worth not risking being too tight on your time. And if you noticed halfway through that little time lapse, I actually had to turn round and go a different way. And it's a long time since I've been out to this place, and as soon as I turned left I thought, oh, I can't get down here. And there is a little sign at the end of the road that says unsuitable for heavy goods vehicles. So I'd already committed myself to the turn. I managed to get myself turned round in a bit of a cul-de-sac, a bit of a blind side into there. And I've had to come all the way round. And I remember this from last time, it actually adds about half an hour onto your journey. Once I'd made the turn, I remembered it. Damn it. So we are now running a little bit late. It's just before 1 o'clock. It's about 5 to 1. So we're a bit later than I would have liked, but that's as early as we could do it, because we just didn't have the driving time. Just glad that I stopped and took my break. I can remember this now. It's like you're driving into a little village where you are, and then it just creeps up on the right hand side of you. But I seem to remember I came in a different way last time. Along a little road called Holt Road, I think it is. And that's the road that you saw there. That was closed just off that little roundabout. So we've come a slightly different way from last time. And we have to turn in here. And it's just off this road. Funny little place, isn't it? Especially when you get cars parked just there. With a bit of a wide berth. I can remember it coming into there last time. I'm thinking, where's it going? I'm sure it's just up here on the right. Yep, there it is. Oof, we made it. Happy days. So I'll just pull up on here. Last time we went a little bit further along the road and into the left. Right, we'll go and try and find goods in and see what they want us to do. So there, that's yeah, down here to the left is where we're going. Station yard. Go around, spin round, and end up back on this little loading bay here. Just go and turn round. Turn round now, then we know we've done it, and we don't have to worry about it when we're coming out, just in case anybody else comes in. Now I've got a car behind me. It's a bit steep. Let's take that nice and easy. All the way up to the end. Around this little bit. Again, being careful of the front of the truck. Remember the first time I came around here, I thought that's never going to go around there. And it just does. It does kind of dig a bit of a hole though. It screws round and the hole that it digs just gets deeper and deeper. That's the sort of lump you have to watch out for with these trucks, because it just eats the front of the unit, but you can't do it any other way. I thought he was going to leave them two up there like that then. Strap them down. Oof. That's a lot of weight for a little car, or a little van, or whatever you want to call it. I'll just let him move out the way. Straighten myself up. Reverse back a little bit. Just make sure he can actually get to the pallets. There he goes. Right, I shall go and get unloaded and we'll see you in a bit. Alright, so that's us unloaded. Hey, wasn't actually expecting it till tomorrow. So, all that panic, not really for anything. Now they like to try and keep that little country lane one way, so I did remember that from last time. We turn left out, all the way up to the end of this road, and turn right. And we're going to Ipswich. We've got a collection of timber, so we'll collect that tonight and deliver it tomorrow, wherever it's going. I bet these houses love these old trucks coming hurtling up and down the road. So I think we'll get ourselves out of here and call it a day with the video, unless there's anything exciting happening along the way. And once again, thanks very much for all the new subscribers, and also for those of you that are coming back to watch the channel. It's always good to see your names popping up. Thanks for all the comments. I'm going to do some shout outs when I get parked up a bit later on, but we'll say ta-ra for now and then add the shout outs at the end, as I've just said. Said that twice now. We'll just get to the end of this road. Then we can say farewell. It is nice not to be on the motorways all the time. It's good to get a little bit of a difference in work. Just keeping my eye on these trees. They look a bit low, don't they? There we are, there's the T-junction. We turn right here. Eventually, when it's picked a gear. And on we go. So, catch you next time. Apart from the shout outs, I'm going to do at the end. I'm not doing the shout outs now because I can't remember all the names. Well, I can, but I've got them written down. But I've got such a bad memory that I'll end up getting it confused or wrong or something. So I shall be back to do the shout outs. Have you got that? See you in a bit. There's something a little bit unusual, look. These aeroplanes No idea what they're doing there. Where are we? I don't know. This will all come out soon. Look at this. All the little planes on the left, look. I feel like I should know where I am here. It's going to tell me in a minute, isn't it? For Aviation Museum, follow Chroma. Look at them all. I've no idea what this place is. I do, because I had a look for it last time. Well, there you go. That's a useless bit of info. Somebody will know where it is. We are on the A1270, heading towards Ipswich. There's loads of planes. Loads and loads and loads. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go around this roundabout so you can see. I only do this for certain people. Everyone's going to think I've got lost. Look at all these aeroplanes. Hang on, here they come. Look at all that lot. If you can see it. Round and round the garden, like a teddy bear. One step, two step. I think we'll go over there. There you go, look at that. Look at them all. I'll let you know about that. Wowzers. All them aeroplanes all just parked up. That's your lot. Ta-ra for now. Right, that was Norwich International Airport. I didn't even know Norwich had an airport. A bit like Bournemouth with its beach. Oh my god, there we go. Learn something new every day. I did know this. Surely I knew this. I don't know. I don't know. I've never seen so many aeroplanes. Just sat there though. And I've definitely been up and down this road millions of times. Why didn't I know that was an airport? I don't know. Anyway, ta-ra. Yeah, so we've reached the end of the day. Made it to Ipswich, got loaded, and everything's strapped out, and they let me park just outside where I've got loaded. Now, I'm not too far away from where we go in to get the fertiliser, it's just across the way there. So that's me for the night, all done and dusted. Out to rugby in the morning. I reckon it'll be 2.5 to 3 hours from here. I think they don't open till 9, so that's my microwave thing. Ready to go. Although it could do a few more minutes. Back on. Just for a minute or two. Pasta bake for tea tonight. Hopefully it won't be too noisy. What do you think to the audio then? Any better than it has been? Probably was till I turned the microwave on. But I think it sounds a bit better anyway. So I promised to do a few shout outs, so here we go then. So very first of all, Thanks very much to James Williamson. You've left quite a few messages over the past few months. Always good to read through them, so keep them coming. Thank you very much. Who else have we got? Assad. Quite often see messages from Assad. Good to keep in touch with you as well. Hope you're finding something to do these days. Found something that suits. Gary Smith, you're another guy that quite often leaves a message. Chris Shaw, I think you're one of my original signer-upperers. Who else have we got in there? Let's have a little look. I think we've said most of them. James Marriott, Steve Reed, Gary Smith. Yeah. If anybody else would like a shout out, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. By the time I come back next week, my eldest son Matthew would have reached his 18th birthday. So happy birthday, matey. Stay safe, keep on staying safe. I know it's hard staying in, but got to do it to keep everybody and yourself safe. And I'm pretty sure that when you eventually find your way back to us at the end of all this, I think there might be a fairly decent party on the cards. So have a good weekend. Everybody stay safe for the rest of the week, and we'll catch up with you again next Tuesday. See you later. Bye.